Okay, I just got a notification right when I was about to make this video. So, hey everybody, it's Candy, aka Brown Eyed Girl 69. It's the day after Christmas, and I'm just here to say hello and hope you all had a good time doing whatever you were doing, whether that was celebrating with a huge family and friends type of celebration, whether it was just celebrating with your small immediate family, or whether it was just you being by yourself celebrating in your own specific way. I hope y'all were blessed. Myself, uh, well, my grandson got a small bacterial infection in his eye. They call it bacterial conjunctivitis. It was pink eye, basically. It was due to a blocked tear duct is how it started, and then it progressed, but it didn't get that bad. I got to the point where his tear duct was blocked, and then it like caused it to get inflamed and everything. But my daughter was on it, and she was able to get him to the doctor and get the necessary treatment. And so now they've been home since Saturday evening and been resting and taking it easy. And my daughter and son-in-law have basically decided that they're not going to take Finian out into the real world, or allow a lot of other people to come over to their place to see him. That he basically will be sequestered and secluded, and quarantined from the majority of people until he's a little bit stronger, a little older, probably about 3-4 months old. When Kelsey was born, me and her dad, we didn't do it to be mean. We just, I think, wanted to bond with our daughter and wanted her all to ourselves. So we didn't basically take her out into the public and introduce her to others. And we definitely didn't let my mom keep her overnight until she was I think 3 months old. And then, even then, that night that I was leaving her with my mom, for me and Dawn, to go out to dinner and a movie and whatnot, whatever we were going to do, we stayed there for 2 hours before we left. My parents basically had to really kick us out the door. So basically, that's where her and Hunter are with my grandson. They're just going to keep him home. I'll get to see him, and Kelsey and Hunter and the girls, that's basically it. They might allow Hunter's parents over on occasion. Others, but before he's being held, they will wash their hands and arms and possibly even have to wear a mask just so they don't cough on him or anything like that. We're just being cautious. As far as the mask wearing thing, I'm not for sure about that, but that would seem the most logical. I guess we're in a way, I'm not trying to be over paranoid, but because of the fact that he was only 9 days old and he was already being taken back to the hospital for an eye infection, really was concerning to me. And especially after I was reading up on the type of infection that it really concerned me. The best thing about it, though, was he wasn't running a fever at all. He didn't run a fever at all. And that made them to know that he didn't, wasn't progressing, or that the infection wasn't progressing into the next stage, which could have been meningitis, if it would have gotten to his brain or spinal cord or whatever through his eye. It was I think it was both eyes. I can't remember which eye was the worst. I think it was his left eye that was the worst, now that I think about it. Yeah, it was his left eye that was the worst. But they got the necessary treatment. It's called erythromycin or something like that. It's basically the same goop they put in your eyes when the babies are born. It's the same stuff. And for those people, I don't know if I've said it or not, but my grandson will not be jib-jabbed, and he will not be circumcised. So, if anybody's curious, is that, yes, he did have the eye goop put in his eyes, and yes, he does have the vitamin K shot. In the beginning, he didn't. And I think that's why me and Kelsey got scared, because myself and Kelsey, were both to blame. We didn't read up on the implications that could happen if these things weren't done or weren't taken into the thought. And the girls both had those things done when they were born, and they turned out fine. I think the only reason why she didn't do it this time was because she was just curious as if he would be okay or not. And it proves that, yeah, some things aren't medically necessary and required. Then there's other things that I believe that aren't medically necessary or required. I'd also say, please research the ingredients that's in that necessary medicine that they say that is required. Because I don't necessarily disagree with medicine, modern medicine, per se. Because modern medicine has helped a lot of people. But there are certain things out there in modern medicine that I don't really agree with. And one of those things is the ingredients in the jib-jabs. If it weren't full of all these like heavy metals and toxins and things of that nature, then I might not have an issue with them. But that's why I have an issue with them. It's because of all the ingredients being put into such a little body that the little body can't handle it, can't control it, and that is why damage occurs. I'm going to say this, yes, I know Kelsey suffered damage from jib-jabs, but it didn't harm her to the extent that it has other kids and other people. Even death has occurred because of these things. With my daughter, she wound up, basically, she had a speech impediment, and she had a lot of allergies, and a lot of ear infections as a kid growing up. She didn't have as many ear infections after the age of 4 or 5, but in the first 4 or 5 years of her life, she had a lot of ear infections, and how ironic, they always seem to occur within a week or two after she would get her updated jib-jabs. So, it does go hand in hand. And her speech impediment definitely, I think, was because of that as well. Because I never had a speech impediment growing up, and as far as I know, her dad never had a speech impediment growing up. As far as her grandparents, I don't believe so on either side, my side or his side. So I do truly believe it was just a developmental delay due to heavy metal / toxins in jib-jabs that they give small children. Of course, I didn't know any of this information until 2009. And by that time, my daughter was 10. And she was just ending her speech therapy that she had started when she was about 2 to 3 years of age. She was probably closer to 3. There for a while, she wouldn't even talk. So we had to have her hearing tested. Once we found out that her hearing was perfect, I just assumed the reason why she wasn't talking is because she didn't want to talk because, well, I did all the talking for her, basically. But that wasn't it. It was just that developmental delay, you know. But once she realized that we knew she could hear, and once she realized that she knew she could talk, then she didn't stop. You know, she became a little bit more outgoing than she was. And even though she had a little bit of trouble with certain words, like she had problems, it depended on where the letter was in the word that she was trying to speak. I'll use Daryl as an example. instead of saying Daryl, she would say Darwol. I had a friend named Jody. No, Joey. And instead of saying Joey, she would call her Doey. So she had a problem with like J's if they were in the beginning of the name, or R's if they were like in the middle of the name. But if the R was like at the beginning of the name, she could say it. Like Ray, she could say Ray. But if there was like an S, she couldn't say Shay, she'd say Ray. So it was just certain letters that she had issues with. And she was in speech therapy from the age of 3 until about 10. And it was around the age of 10, around this time frame, when I was being awakened and made aware of what was going on with those things. Which, of course, led me out down to all sorts of rabbit holes. But as you can see, the reason why my grandchildren aren't jib-jabbed and why my grandson is left whole and intact with everything that he's born with is due to the research that I've done. Now, like I said, we made a couple of mistakes where Finn was concerned, but those issues have been corrected. And no more issues need to be corrected. And we'll just leave it at that. He's doing very well breastfeeding. My daughter is doing very excellent in providing and producing enough milk for him as well. And he's just, he's just a quiet little baby. I only heard him cry maybe 1 time, 2 times at the most. He's just very quiet. He, very chill. Kelsey said that, he's probably she said for a fact that he's the easiest baby that she has had so far. Out of all these 3 babies, he's the easiest that she's had to contend with. Because he's just so quiet. Like I told her, even when she was a baby, the only time she ever cried was when she was hungry, if I didn't get to her in time, or if she had a wet or dirty diaper. She said, like, he don't even cry for that, Mom. She's like, he don't really like his diaper change, so he might cry a little bit when I'm changing his diaper, cleaning and whatnot, but other than that, he's just a laid-back, chill baby, He's a Sagittarius sun. He's a Capricorn moon, and he's a Sagittarius rising, so he's a lot of fire in him. And when he first came into this world, he looked like fire because his skin was so red. He was so red. And, yeah, he did go jaundice a little bit, but not enough to be concerned with or to have to put him under the lamps or anything like that. Shoot, all you gotta do is go take your baby out and put him in some sunlight and their jaundice is gonna go away. So yeah, we didn't really have to deal with that issue at all either. So yeah, he was kind of a jib-jab free, medication free for the first 9 days of his life, and then he got the iGoop and vitamin K. And now he's doing great. He's thriving and everything's moving forward as it should. So that's just an update on what's going on. And because of that, I dropped off my presents to them Christmas Eve night. So that would have been Sunday night. And hung out with him for a little bit. Finn pretty much stayed in the bedroom. I did get to go in there. I looked at him from a distance. I took a couple of pictures of him. My daughter and then they had bought a couple of those elves, like for Elf on the Shelves. They bought a couple of them. They had one in the tree, and then they had another one in the room. And so when I went over there, I seen it. I was like, ooh, let me put this in his little bassinet. So I put the little elf in his bassinet and took a couple of pictures of him. And gave the girls their present. I didn't wrap them. I just got them there and gave it to them. And they were like really impressed with it. They wanted to open it right then and there, but I told them, no, you got to wait and open it and play with it tomorrow. I just wanted you to have it now. And then, of course, I gave Kelsey and Hunter their gifts. In fact, I might post pictures. I took pictures of those things. Make a community post or make a little video or something of all my pictures together. What I give the girls. Kelsey sent me pictures of the girls, too, with their gift. Everly, more than Cadence. Cadence was, I guess, not really interested in it as much. But yeah, I just basically, I did those things Sunday night, and I came home Sunday night and basically stayed home, and I've been home since Sunday night. So here it is, Tuesday afternoon. I haven't gone anywhere. I don't have to be at work until the afternoon at 12. So I still have the rest of today, and I still have the rest of Wednesday to do whatever I need to do to take care of. But I'm just trying to hold off on certain things because honestly, I don't have a lot of money. And I missed work last week. I basically missed Saturday because of the fact that I was having to watch my grandkids when Penny and my daughter and son-in-law was up at the hospital with him. So I lost $100 in income for 8 hours. My rent's due. I basically got cut off in my food stamps because my renewal date seemed like my renewal always had to come before December 5th, or by December 5th. And they always need the last 30 days. So I didn't think about it until after the fact, or I would have only probably sent them 4 pay stubs. But I had 5 paychecks in the month of November. So, of course, that put me over the monthly income. And so now I'm, in their eyes, it disqualified me. But in reality, it only disqualified me because of the occurrence that happens twice a year, every 6 months, on average, where a person will get either 5 paychecks a month or 3 paychecks a month if they're being paid bi-weekly. Me, I get weekly paychecks, so I average 4 checks a month usually. Which is about $1,260 bring home. Is what I bring home a month. $1,260. Poverty level $1,700. My bills are $1,000 a month. That's for my cell phone and my car insurance. That leaves me an extra $260 for extras. That leaves me with $260 for gas for my car. Food now. Non-food supplies. Anything that isn't a utility bill or, housing is got to come out of my pocket now. So, $260 in today's day and age doesn't go very far. I do have a Cash App. It's the same as my name. It's Brown Eyed Girl 69. It's spelled exactly as my channel name's spelled. Just got to put a $ in front of it. So $ Brown Eyed Girl 69 is my Cash App. If you feel led to send me a few bucks, and even if it's $5 or $10, I'm gonna be like, thank you. Because I didn't receive any Christmas from anyone this year at all. Unless my mom has something for me, but she hasn't told me. She did message me yesterday morning and said Merry Christmas. And I messaged her back and said Merry Christmas. But my mother doesn't ever put out the effort to communicate with me. She always expects us to communicate with her. And then when we don't communicate with her that often, then she ridicules us for not contacting her as often. And then we tell her that, well, the phone works 2 ways. You can pick up the phone and call us. Why is it always have to be us calling you? You know what I mean? So, who knows? My mom might have something for me, she might not. Now, as far as Kelsey and Hunter, they gave me a gift, which was my grandson. So, they didn't give me anything materialistically, but they gave me something that's going to last a lifetime. Or as long as his lifetime's here, as long as I'm here. That's my Christmas present for 2023 was my grandson. And nobody can take that away from me, It's something that no amount of money can pay for, because he's priceless in my. I've always wanted a son ever since I was a little girl. When I was a little girl, and I used to think about what I wanted when I grew up. I knew I wanted to have kids. I just didn't know how old I was going to be, you know what I mean? I didn't know how many kids I wanted to have, but I knew I wanted to at least have a couple of kids. And I knew I wanted to have a boy and a girl. And I always wanted to have a boy first, so he'd be older to be able to protect his baby sister, you know? But because of life and things of that nature, I was blessed with the one daughter that I have, Kelsey. She's 24. She'll be 25 in a couple months. And through her, I have my 3 grandchildren, my 2 granddaughters and my grandson now. So, I finally got what I wanted when I was a little girl all those years ago. I got me a boy. So I'm very blessed in that aspect of things. But as far as the world's concerned and my financial status is concerned, I'm not very blessed in that aspect. So, like I said, if any of you people would like to send me a few dollars to help me out and you're able to, don't do it if you aren't able to do it. Only if you don't have to worry or have concern with where that money's going. Would I ask anybody to help me out? Shoot, even when I was homeless, you know. There were times when I was homeless and I didn't have no money, you know, but Daryl and I made it through. However, we made it through, you know. The universe always seemed to bless us and give us what we needed right when we needed it. So, I'm grateful for those moments as well, because in those moments, you learn to be grateful for exactly what you have in that moment. And sometimes it's not always materialistic possessions that you have to be grateful for. I think one reason why I'm starting to get emotional is full moon is in Cancer today. And it's probably going to be, let's see, in about 3 hours, 3.5 hours is when it's supposed to technically be full. But we already are in the zodiac sign of Cancer, so we're already in Cancer. Moon's already in Cancer. She's just not full yet. Anyway, that's about it. Moon isn't full for like another 3.5 hours. But we are in the zodiac sign of Cancer. And I am a Cancer. I am a water sign. On an air cusp. So I am a Cancer born on cusp of Gemini. With Sagittarius rising. I don't really know a lot about those things, but I'm starting to study a little bit about those things, and most of the things that I've studied about myself in birth charts, they do pretty much ring true about a lot of things in my personality and how I look at life and the things that are important to me in aspects of family, jobs, career, you know, education, etc., etc. Most of the stuff that I've read in my birth chart, pretty accurate. Looks like I'm approaching that 25-minute mark. So you have a blessed day, and stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy, stay warm, stay fed, stay loved. Give those things out if you can. And until the next time, peace, love, happiness, joy, love, hugs, nugs, all that good stuff, you know? I wish nothing but the best for people in life, wherever you are, whoever you are. I just want people to be happy with their life, and if they're not happy with their life, they can change it, but only they can change it. Nobody else can do it for them. So till the next time, peace out.